Now Malaysia is flooded. Can everyone get on Noah's Ark?
Okay.
Alright, welcome back to another video, guys. Today I'm here with Yuva, and
Hi,
he
guys.
has a Ridley Noah SL.
Yes.
I always get it wrong. Yuva, thank you so much for coming on the channel.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Okay, no problem. Before we begin, this is not a recent Noah SL because I think Ridley came up with a much more newer model.
Yeah, so I picked this bike up at the end of 2018, December 2018, and just when the Noah Fast was coming out, the disc brake version of this with the integrated cockpit.
Right.
So I bought it from Entro, and this bike was being discounted during the Christmas sale.
Okay.
So I picked it up because of that, because it was just discounted.
Right.
Yeah.
So which year model again is this?
This is this frame has been around since 2015, this exact shape, and all the way through 2018, I believe, before they changed it. Yeah.
Could you just run us through the components of the bike, man?
Okay, so when I bought it stock, it came with Ultegra R8000, mechanical 11 speed. The crank was I think it's a 3D30 roto crank, 5236, but I swapped it to a 5034 because I'm a bit weak. The saddle was a Ridley standard saddle. I changed it to my Specialized Power. I bought this second hand actually for about, I think bought it from a guy from about $100. It was like 1 year old, then he passed and sold it to me. I changed the stem to my preferred 110 6-degree angled up.
Yep.
And the handlebar, I changed it about a day ago. I changed it last week. It's a 3T Ergonova. I changed it because the stock handlebar that it came with just corroded.
What's your height, man? And the frame size?
177.
Right.
And this is frame size extra small, but Ridleys tend to run, the frames tend to be larger for the size. So XS could be like a 50. So this XS has got a 52.6 cm length top tube, so it's about 52, 53.
Right.
I tend to ride 52, but for my height I'm supposed to ride 54. But I tend to ride 52 because my torso is shorter than my legs, long legs.
Right.
So my reach is restricted.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
wheels. These are. I can't tell what wheels are these.
Okay.
Man.
So these wheels are Chinese OEM carbon wheels. They're from Fast Sports in China. It's 50 mm, and they're running on Novatec hubs. Yeah. Nothing fancy about it. I picked this up for about. 3 years ago for about $750.
Right.
Landed in Singapore. I mean, now it's like twice the price if you want to buy anything bike related. A couple of friends recommended them to me, so this was my first upgrade for the bike.
Okay. Is there a reason why you chose Chinese wheels instead of mainstream wheels?
Cost, basically cost. 3-4 years ago, I just got married, so building up my house, so funds were limited, so I had to keep the bike as. I don't think the wife would be too happy if I spent like $3,000 on wheels. So
Yeah. Right.
yeah.
So speaking of price, then what is the total cost of this build?
Okay, so rolled off the shop was 4,250, and then the wheels were 750, so exactly $5,000.
Okay. So when you built this bike up, right, was it just the frame set alone that you got and you slowly started building it up?
So the bike came stock full, everything including the Groupset 4250. The wheels were Fulcrum Speed. I think it was like a 38 mm aluminium wheel. I have experience with those wheels before, and I just didn't like. I wanted something lighter.
Right.
And I actually bought these wheels before I got the bike. They were on my old bike, so I just swapped them over instead of keeping those wheels.
Where the aero bars, man? Aero frame usually comes with aero bars.
Okay, so it came with a regular stem and handlebar, non-aero. And if I wanted to get an aero package, it would cost a lot of money. Like, I think anything integrated is like $400.
Yeah.
And because of my short torso and my height and the fact that I went with this particular frame for my torso, if I went with the integrated stem, I won't be able to get this fit. Yeah, so that's why I didn't do it.
Yeah, I just saw that the fork has actually cutouts here. Do you think it actually has any form of performance benefits?
So Ridley advertises this fork as a way to clear air and reduce turbulence.
No?
I mean, before this, I was riding a non-aero bike, and I'm just as fast on this as on that. So it's really the if I were to say one upgrade that everybody should make for speed will be just getting 50 mm
Wheels?
clinchers, carbon clinchers. Yeah,
Right.
it just makes the bike faster,
Okay.
even on a non-aero bike.
Right. What is the weight of this bike?
I am not very sure.
Take a guess.
I think it's 7.9 kilos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's a bit heavy for a rim brake?
Yes. So back in 2018, I think it was like a 2017 bike. So back in 2017, it was the time where if you wanted light, you had to buy non-aero. All aero bikes, from my memory from that time, were heavy lah. Just the way they laid up the carbon, the way they built it up lah. Nowadays the bikes are a bit more refined. So you can get a sub 7 kilo aero bike if you're willing to spend a lot of money on it. Yeah.
Talk me through the crankset. These are not stock Shimano Ultegra cranks.
I'm not sure why Ridley did not give me stock R8000. The bike came with this.
Oh really?
So yeah.
Okay.
So stock it came with Roto RD30, and I used it and I was fine with it, so I didn't bother changing it.
I think I have a similar saddle. This is the Specialized power, right?
Yep.
The aluminium rails. How are you finding the saddle so far?
This is the most comfortable saddle I've used. Before this, I was on a very old school San Marco Regal. So San Marco Regal was I think it was the Pantani era type of saddle lah. Because I got a big butt, so I needed something wide to support me. And then I changed to this, and I was very happy with it lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the thing, I think you said this is one of the most comfortable saddles. You've not tried the S-Works Power Mirror. Everyone who has been on my channel says that is the best saddle, and I just do not agree with the price. It's $800.
I don't know anybody personally who has it, but I have heard a few people I know talk about, oh, it's a very comfortable saddle. Haven't ridden with them, never touched it, never saw it. But I mean, it's $1,000 the saddle?
650 retailing.
650 retail.
Yeah.
My bills are 750 but how to spend 650 on a saddle? I mean, I don't think I'll ever spend 650 on a saddle, to be honest.
Right. Yeah. Me neither, man. I mean, then again, people say $650 is a small amount to pay
for comfort, right?
For comfort, yeah.
I think if you were to think about it in terms of, oh, I'm going to keep the bike for 10 years, and then the saddle adds to the resale value, maybe $40 a year, amortize the cost.
Yeah.
I guess if you 650 is nothing much to you, okay, but I mean, I'm very happy with the short nose saddle, so I don't think I'll upgrade to that.
Yeah. And making the change to disc anytime soon?
Oh. You ask us all your friends, right? Yeah. Okay. My take is, if in future, 2-3 years from now, if you want a aero bike, probably not going to find rim. So if I want an aero bike 2-3 years from now, and I want to buy it, probably I have no choice but to buy this, because that's what's available. But that being said, I don't think my next bike will be an aero carbon rig, because this is my dream bike. Like when I first started cycling in 2009, the first Ridley Noahs came out, and back then it was the shtick lah. I mean, wow, the aero frame lah. Then they had like some special paint on it to dissipate turbulence, so they call. And I wanted one of these back then, and finally, I was able to afford one. After riding my dream bike, I think this is a high for me. I don't think I will get anything better. And I'll probably regress to, I mean, we're going to spend more than this. I'll probably get a Pegoroti steel bike, put Campagnolo mechanical on it. That's what I'll go with lah. Yeah, it's my next build.
Right. And you seem like a very seasoned rider. How long have you been cycling?
2009.
Okay.
12 years, yeah.
So road bike all the way?
No, I started on mountain actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so I transitioned to road because I broke my hand, mountain biking lah. So basically so you see my hand?
Yeah.
It's like, so this can't go straight because there's two metal plates in here.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so because of that I couldn't handle Bukit Timah terrain anymore lah. It just hurts lah.
Wow.
So then I transitioned to road, and I never looked back lah. I did get back into mountain biking about 5-6 years ago. But the problem with it is I need to ride to the trail, then I need to do the trail, then I need to ride back, and then I have to clean my bike. So I guess with less time these days, I prefer not to do that anymore. So I stick with road lah.
Right. Yeah. So now with your hand, sorry, because you can't go straight, right, your right hand?
Yeah. So
how is it like on the hoods?
So when you're on the hoods, right, it's like that, lor.
Right.
So it's a bit Bangkok lah.
Okay.
It's a bit curved lah. So I mean that's one reason my hoods are tilted in a bit.
Okay.
So it follows the natural progression of my hand lah. So it's very odd to have one straight and one like that.
Yeah.
So I just tilted both lah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a very gnarly accident.
Yeah. I mean the bone came out lah. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah, two of them. I mean, it poked out a bit,
Okay.
and then they pushed it back. They cut it and pushed it back in.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then they.
Okay, let's get back to the bike. So, OSPW, yes or no?
No, don't waste money on it. Okay, fine. Everything has a price, right? If the OSPW is like $100, fine. I don't mind trying lah. But I think the Absolute Black, they do one that's like $800. I might buy it to try it if I had a lot of money, but
Yeah.
probably not lah.
OSP,
Yeah.
the Absolute Black one looks really nice because of the design.
The oil slick design,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Not only that, I think the way the
There's a
jockey
dimple.
wheel looks, it's hollow in the middle.
Yep.
And I think Hambini, one of the YouTubers, I think he trashed that brand and that model.
I watch Hambini. I can't say I agree with everything he says, but when it comes to being efficient with your build, a lot of stuff he says is on point. Yeah, like honestly speaking, if you want to go fast and be aero, your position matters more than the actual bike itself. Yeah.
Okay. And have you done any upgrades to the bottom bracket, speaking of efficiency?
No, the only reason I changed my bottom bracket is because it wears out. Yeah.
Wears out, what do you mean?
Wears out means it rides until I feel like there's the maybe that sound, right? Then you know the bearings are gone lah. Usually bearings go because I don't take out my bike so on. So when I wash my bike, I do bad things like I spray water on it. I'm not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
But I did the math. I'm like, okay, if I want to take out and clean, and I might as well just replace the bearings now and then lah.
Right.
So that's how I roll lah.
Okay. So how is this frame overall? Is it I'm assuming it's pretty good on flats. How is it like climbing?
Climbing is heavy lah. Like so before this, I had an OEM Chinese frame. That frame, I'm not sure. Frame alone without a fork, that was about 660 grams. I guess with the fork is sub 800 maybe. This is like a 1 kilo frame, I think 950. So you do NM plus, and that had like carbon parts plus there was a shallow rim. There was this brand called Soul Wheels. I think it's still around. He had a wheel set called the S2.0. It's an aluminium wheel set. I think it was 1.3 kilos, very light, very nice hubs. So climbing with that was better than climbing with this. Partly it's weight, partly it's also geometry. So that bike is it's a bit more, the headset it's a lot tall, it's a bit taller.
Yeah.
So when you're climbing, you're a bit more upright, and you can just put down the power more lah. But it's meant to go fast, right?
Right.
Go fast, right?
What do you not like about the bike?
What do I not like about the bike?
Yeah, this channel is all about honesty. We can trash anything that you want.
I don't like the weight.
Right.
I don't like the weight. I still want to experience riding a sub 7 kilo bike lah, which I've not experienced it yet. I think even my previous bike was 7.1. This is about 7.9.
Right.
The other thing I don't like about this bike is I like a lot of things about it. If I had to change one thing, I'd probably change the wheels.
Right.
Because these wheels, the hubs don't last as long as heavier, more durable hubs. I mean, I've had to change the hub once already, the back.
But how do you know when the hubs are gone and you need to change them?
Oh, I changed it because I was riding on West Coast Highway, and then the back. So there's a free hub, right? And this is your cassette, right? The cassette just started spinning without turning the wheel.
Oh.
Yeah. So they opened it up, and then the whole pawl construction had just broken off.
Right.
So the manufacturer sold me a new hub, and I just rebuilt it lah.
So these are Novatec hubs.
Novatec hubs, yeah.
So yay or nay?
It failed after 3 years.
Okay.
3.5 years. So I mean, if you think about 750, 3.5 years, okay lah. Return on investment quite good lah.
Yeah.
And then the replacement was $100. Rebuilding another $100. Built wheel. I think the guy did it. It's very good, and no problem lah. Yeah.
Okay. Before we move on to Instagram Q&A, any last wrap up? Sorry, I got to point this out. These are AliExpress cages.
No, Decathlon.
Oh really?
Decathlon. This is $20.
No, because I have a set of Chinese carbon cages and it looks the same.
I suspect everybody makes in the same factory.
Right.
How much did you buy yours for?
I think like $10.
Oh, this is the double the price.
Oh man,
got ripped off.
I've got a set. I've got a set. If anybody wants to buy from me, I listed it on Carousel, but no interested buyers. Okay, yeah. Anything else you want to talk about the bike before we move on to the questions?
Oh, nothing else actually.
Nothing.
I like everything about it.
Instagram Q&A, you guys want to ask your questions, follow me on Instagram and you'll get the chance to ask your questions. So Yuva, are you ready? The first question is, why is the stem in this position?
Okay, so because of my height and the fact that most of my height is in my legs, my reach will be naturally short for any bike. So I have to choose bikes that have a reach, the top tube cannot be more than 53. So 52, 51, okay, can. So to accommodate the fact that I'm tall and my reach and my arms are a bit long, I'm a bit gangly lah. I have to push the stem out a bit and raise it up. So the only way to do it is with a riser stem. Right. So before I did this, when the bike came, the fork steerer tube was double the height, and I had it at a -6 and was high up lah. But then I got sick of that look, so I went with this one.
Why is it pointed up instead of having spacers? Why you slam it and point it up?
Oh, okay. So before this, I actually had spacers, and what I noticed was my headset will work itself loose every 2 months.
Okay.
And after I cut the stem and I slammed it down, and my spacer could interact more with the headset, the actual headset, the problem went away.
Why is that?
I have no idea.
Could it be the way this was torqued, the top cap, the top bolt?
It's possible, but I did a test where I went to the same mechanic and did it, and the same problem didn't happen after the steerer was cut. So yeah.
So now it's fine?
Now it's fine, no problem. Yeah.
Oh, very strange.
Yeah.
Okay. The next question, the follow-up question is, judging by the saddle position and the stem angle, is the frame too big for you?
Well, hard to tell, man. But I'm very comfortable on it. Is it too big on me? If I had to change one thing, maybe to get a better fit, I'll probably reduce my stem to 90 to bring the cockpit a bit more forward.
Right.
Then I can unslam it lah. But I mean, so this is the nice thing about buying bikes that are not completely integrated. You can choose to ride a smaller frame, and you can still dial in the fit you want based on your stem, angle, and bar. So there's a lot of leeway on that. Yeah, for my personal preference, I prefer not to buy a frame that is a size too big or exactly my size, because I know if I drop just one size down, the measurements for the top tube is usually off by 1.62 cm at most, so you can fix that very easily with a stem. Yeah.
Right. Which I have mentioned earlier, I mean in other videos that I've interviewed, the new cockpit integrated style, right?
Yeah.
It's a bit of I would say it's a bit difficult for you to adjust things because they're all one piece, right? If you want to change the width of the handlebar or just the reach of your stem, you can't do that. You got to buy the whole entire thing. And that's going to set you back, a couple of $1,000s. Yeah,
but I mean, I'm surprised that now a lot of bikes come with integrated, when my personal opinion is that you shouldn't need an integrated bar and stem because the aero advantage, but you're not rolling at 50k an hour, right? So you can't really see those gains. Back when I started cycling, the integrated was very rare. I mean, I think Pinarello had one. It was the most one. So it's like it was a wavy handlebar, very nice stuff. But that was the only one I could see. Now every bike seems to have it.
Yeah. Everyone's going integrated, no cables, nonsense, right? But I guess it's now cycling is all about aesthetics. Jerseys. You have the latest bling jerseys that cost like a couple $100, which I fail to understand because it's just way too expensive for me. Like think of jerseys like Rafa or Matt. I mean, if you think it's really worth it, go for it. But dude, I buy my jerseys; they only cost me $50.
Okay, so I'm talking so much about how you shouldn't spend so and so. I mean, ultimately, it's a hobby, right? And if getting a very nice bike, getting a very nice kit, I'm wearing shoes that are that expensive.
It's very bling.
Very bling shoes, right? If it makes you feel good and you can afford it, and makes you want to get out and ride, then all the more power to you lah. I mean, ultimately, the only reason we are riding is because we enjoy it and it keeps us healthy, right? So, if getting a full aero bike with OSPW, ceramic bearings everywhere, 60mm, high profile, zip, integrated full, makes you happy, you like it, gets you out of the bed every day to ride, happy already lah.
So here's the reason why I don't buy so expensive jerseys. Maybe I have bad experience when I started riding, like 10 years ago, right? I don't take care of my things, so jerseys I'll just chuck it into the washing machine. And that time, jerseys were not so aero like now. They're a bit more flimsier, a bit more loose fitting, and they tend to get loose very easily once you chuck it into the washing machine. So that's why I don't buy so expensive ones. I'm very afraid if I spend $300 on a jersey, it's gonna be very loose. It expands over time if I keep throwing it in the washing machine.
Actually, no, because modern fabrics now, if you think about something that's nylon based with a bit of polyester in it, a lot of them are very they're stable at wash cycles because fabric technology has come a long way. Like when I started cycling 9 years ago, you wear like a bib short, right? Within 6-7 months, you probably have to replace it because the fabric starts. I mean, now it's a nylon-based one.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, we got drifted away. Okay. The next question is this is meant to be a sarcastic question. Is this a prototype of Ridley's gravel bike because of the inverted stem?
Probably. make it bigger and put like 38mm tires.
Okay, so
launch as a new frame.
How wide can the tires go?
25 is the max.
25.
I tried 28, and I put a 28 on it, and I inflated it to 110, and there was a bit of rub lah.
Usually the rub is not here, but usually back at the seat stay, right?
Yeah, so it rubbed here, a bit here, and then actually the top a bit.
Oh, over here as well?
Yeah.
Oh, here, it's very, very tight. Not much clearance. Okay, then again, it's an old frame. I think at that time 28s or even 25s were not very popular.
25s were the new thing back then. Like, so before that I was riding 23. So going from 23 to 28, I mean, you came from 23 as well, right? So going from 23 to 25 is a big thing lah. So this is 25, and I honestly can't tell the difference. I mean, maybe I'm...
Actually, I've ridden 28s.
Are they better? Are they good?
It is much more comfortable. I mean, obviously, right, wider tires feels much more comfortable. But then I went back to 25, and I feel faster on a 25.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I normally pump up my tires, inflate it up to like 115, 120.
Same.
I like it really, really hard. But some people tell me like you put it at a very low pressure, it's much more comfortable. But I feel like I'm losing watts when it's soft.
Like, I mean, Singapore's roads are so smooth. Like, I've never ridden roads as smooth as this anywhere. I mean, you go Malaysia, Thailand, it's like it's quite gravelly lah. So 110 Tanah Merah Coastal Road, wow, no problem. It's so smooth. If I can pump it to 130, I'll probably pump it to but I can't.
I have this OCD before I go riding, I need to pump my tires.
Same. Every ride, I must pump my tires.
If I don't pump, I feel like something is missing. I will actually go back home and pump it up.
Yes.
Even though if it's just like 1 or 2 PSI, right? It has to be exactly dead on the spot. How I want it to be. If not, I can actually feel the difference. Even it's really low. Like
it feels like you feel the back is like a bit squishy. It's not quite as it
feels like I had a flat or something, right? I get super paranoid about it. Why a Ridley in particular? Don't get me wrong, it's just not that. I'm just curious.
Well, why Ridley in particular is it? I actually did not plan to buy this bike. I walked into so when I was shopping back in 2018, right? I had my budget was about 4K for the full bike. So I went to look at Giant, Specialized, Standard lah, Giant, Specialized, Aerostay. Then I went to look at I think the seller for Bianchi. I went to look at that, and then Trek obviously, and at the intro was the 4th or 5th shop that I went to, and then they had the Ridley Noah SL at 4.2. This is the one that Andre Greipel rode for that same year for Tour de France. Then I'm like, oh, okay, it's a pro tour bike for slightly more than the budget I wanted, and I wanted to ride something like this before. Totally forgot about it. Came back. Okay, nice color. Okay, buy low.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the reason behind.
That's really the reason.
So would the next bike be a Ridley or something else?
No, I don't think my next bike will be a Ridley. My next bike will be Wow, very hard to tell because normally I don't change bikes every year. This is the first new bike in 8 years for me. So I bought this 4 years ago. So 4 years time, I have no idea what I want to buy. But high chance it might be a steel custom, or I might regress to buying a old school Cat 4. You know, the Team Seiko red color one.
Okay.
So I might buy something like that just for fun lah. And if I don't like it, I probably go back and change to this lah. Yeah.
What are your thoughts about the prices of bikes right now, like SL7 being, you know, $15,000 to $20,000? Would you ever get that? Would you spend that amount of money on a bike?
I don't think. Okay, it depends. I mean, ultimately it's about what's your wealth relative to what you spend, right? So a $15,000 bike makes sense if you're making a lot of money. Then okay lah, it just becomes a number to you after some point. For me, I've always been somewhat frugal with the way I purchase things, and this is the most expensive bike I've ever built. My previous bike was less than 2.5k, less than 2k actually. I built it up slowly with second-hand parts lah. So going from that to a 5k bike was already touching the top of my budget. So now if you tell me I need to spend 3 times the amount to get something that's as heavy, a bit faster, probably not lah. Yeah. Okay. But if you tell me I have to spend 15,000 to get something like a customized Pegoretti with Campagnolo, it's something special, then I might consider it if I can afford it.
Right. Yeah. Is this a special paint job because he has not seen this color before?
No. So this is a stock frame. So I bought it from Entro, was this color, and I love this color. I don't know what color it is. Some blue, purple. Because I'm colorblind, so I can't really tell exactly what shade of blue it is, or purple. But everybody that has seen the bike on the road always says, wow, that's a nice color.
You're colorblind?
I'm colorblind.
So what do you see this color as?
Looks like a dark, rich purple to me.
It's a bit more bluish, I would say.
It's a bit more bluish, yeah.
Okay.
But it's red, right? Confirm red. that much I know lah.
So were you hoping it to be purple instead of blue?
In my mind was either it was going to be a dark blue or a purple. So
I think what matters is what you see and interpret it, right?
Exactly. And the paint's got like this sparkly finish to it. It's very subtle.
Yeah.
And then the modern bikes now, they make it a bit more, a bit more sparkly now.
Right. Okay, so today's recording date is December 22nd.
Yeah.
So the question might not be relevant by the time I publish this.
Okay.
The question is, now Malaysia is flooded. Can everyone get on Noah's Ark?
This one, I think the max weight is 120 only.
So it'll just fit you?
So it just fit me. One more, and a very small person.
What is the top speed on the bike?
Wow, top speed of the bike. Top speed of the bike determined by how strong you are or how steep the gradient going down is. So going by how steep the gradient down is, the max I've taken this up to is 95, I think. 95, 96. Yeah, coming down Cameron Highlands.
Oh.
Yeah.
And how stable does it feel on this bike?
Very sketchy.
Is it because
I'm not experienced at riding that fast downhill. So my confidence is, partly sheer terror, bit of stupidity, and the fact that I kept touching the brakes a lot when I should just let it go. But I probably will not ride it downhill that fast ever again. Right. Stability wise, if I'm on a flat like Tanah Merah, I want to go at 40. 40 is no problem lah. But when I'm in a draft and someone's going for a sprint and it's like 50, 52, on the, what's the viaduct, the Keppel one, yeah. So everybody sprints there, right? I feel it's slightly a bit all over the place, little bit, not as planted as I wanted to be. I don't know whether it's because I overinflate the tires but it's never been a deal breaker, never been so much so that I think about it when I go back. It's just like, I had a good fun riding today, so next week I want to do it again. That's all you think about, right?
Yeah. Just want to point out that I'm looking at the camera. I look like a chicken because I did not comb my hair before
you're very handsome.
This is a Rojak production, I just pack everything and I just come out to the side. Okay, so next question is... Oh, it's actually for me. I submitted this question because I was afraid I will forget this question. So why are you running such shallow wheels on an aero frame? Don't you think it look better on deeper wheels? Because back then 50mm was like what everybody got. So buying a 60mm was rare, even among my friends, so I just didn't buy it. I probably will try 60mm next time. 60. What do you ride right now? I ride 5.6. It's NVs.
Is it nice?
Top speed is pretty good. Maintaining high speeds like 40 is 54 and 63, I think. Yeah. So like I said, once the bike is in motion, it's above 35. You just have to trickle push it a little bit,
and it just
then
keeps
it keeps
going.
going. But on acceleration, it's a bit tough. I have to get off my saddle and start pushing, especially at light. So
I mean, and it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's I mean, it's not like everybody just right start, bam, 55, right?
It really depends on the group. So sometimes the guys that I ride with on TMCR, they always tell me Santai ride, today recovery ride, and by the time I go home, I'm so smashed. My heart rate is 180. I'm like, guys, what happened?
Whenever anybody says, "Oh, this ride is a Santai ride, chillax ride," or Lai One lah,
copy ride,
Lai One lah. There's no such thing as a copy ride lah.
Yeah. What do you do for a living?
I'm afraid what I say will come out as an advertisement lah. So,
okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm in the biking industry actually. I run a company called Red White Apparel. So we make big shorts.
So coming back to the bike, any last wrap up before we end this? I think that's the end of the questions.
The only thing I want to say is if you picked up cycling recently or you've been cycling for a long time, don't worry too much about the equipment. I mean, equipment is nice and all, but what's important is you should still get out and ride whenever possible because it's good for you. So,
awesome, man. Very, very good advice. Yuva, that ends it. Thank you so much for coming on the channel.
Thanks.
I hope to see you around, and do I get free jerseys? Or
yes,
free bibs?
I will send you a bib shot. Yeah,
Maybe I can do like a giveaway for my subscribers.
Actually, I was going to talk to you about that.
Yeah, we can do that offline. Giving back to people who watch and subscribe to my channel. I don't need it, but I mean, I'll give it to whoever needs it. And that's the end of the video, guys. If you enjoyed this, do subscribe and like the video, and see you guys in the next video. Thanks, Yuva.
Bye.